What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. We've got a great video for you guys today. We're gonna go over the 20 mistakes that most drivers make. Before we jump into this video, we wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Solo. Solo is an incredible app that just makes drivers more money. It gives you access to guaranteed pay each day, which is an incredible feature, as well as tracking and a lot of other awesome stuff jam-packed into the app. One of the best parts is they're giving our listeners $10 just for signing up by using the link in the description below. So check that out, guys, and let's get into the video. So the biggest mistake that I think drivers make is not getting a dash cam. This would have saved me a lot of money earlier in my career from an accident I was in that I was not at fault at. And a lot of other scenarios where I just really would have liked that security blanket. And I think for a lot of people, just seeing the camera in there is gonna stop them from wanting to do anything potentially stupid they might do, knowing that they're being filmed. Next on our list is not utilizing third-party apps. This to me is a huge mistake. Apps like Solo, like Play Octopus, getting you that free tablet. There's a lot of incredible apps that just will make you better money or save you money as you do this. It's not necessarily cheap to drive Uber and Lyft, and you need to be serious about doing everything you can to make as much and save as much as you can. Next on our list is careless driving. I've been in way too many Ubers myself where the driver was just careless and it really bothered me. They weren't paying attention to the road, speeding, maybe coasting through some stop signs. You should treat this very professionally, drive safer. You're gonna get more tips if you do. You're not gonna make more money if you go 70 or 80, in a 50 and hopefully get there 3 minutes quicker. Next on my list is camping. Camping in the wrong areas is just not a good idea. Now what I mean by that is just parking your car and sitting in an area where you know you're probably not gonna get a ride. I feel like too many drivers do this and they're just kind of hoping and praying that that good ride comes in. Odds are that it really won't. You just need to suck it up and get back to an area where you will get a guaranteed ride. Number 5 on our list is forcing long days and hours. I've always said that strategizing 3 hours is way better than aimlessly driving for 8. Actually plan out your days, and if you plan them right, you can go out and make more money in a couple hours than you would in a really long shift anyways. So be strategic. Don't just look at it as you can turn the app on and drive whenever you want. You won't make as good of money if you look at it that way. Number 6, another really bad one, is using traditional car insurance. So many people just don't realize they need rideshare insurance. So usually this happens because they bought the car long before they started driving for Uber and Lyft, and so they just didn't know, because Uber and Lyft really doesn't make it clear that you need rideshare insurance. So make sure you do, because if you get into an accident or anything, it could really screw you over bad too. Number 7 is not tracking expenses. A mistake I made in my first year as a driver. I just didn't realize that I'd be paying a lot of money back once it came down to it. I was just young and dumb. Make sure you track everything you spend while you work. I guarantee you, you're gonna be really glad you did at the end of the year. Number 8 on our list is not utilizing referrals. I'm really shocked more people don't go for driver referrals. One of the things that always made Uber and Lyft amazing for me in my first couple of years is my best friend drove too. I referred him to the app, made some money off it that we split, and on top of that, for years to come, we were going out at all the same shifts, talking between rides, meeting up for a meal when we both needed a break, hanging out at the airport queue. It honestly made the experience overall so much better. So, talk to some friends about it, get them into it, refer them, and then you guys are gonna have some company while you're out there driving. Next on our list is eating fast food. This is a huge mistake to me. It's not even cheaper. It's honestly gonna hit your wallet way harder than you think. It's gonna make you feel like garbage. One thing that really helped me is when I started prioritizing my health, I noticed I felt better, and the days overall were just better because I felt better. Felt weird saying that. Better because I felt better. Anyways, overall your energy levels are gonna impact, how you conversate, how you drive, and just how you feel. You should prioritize that at all times so that you feel good each day while you're working. Number 10 is not networking. Uber and Lyft is such a rare opportunity to get to know people. You should try and find some way to utilize those connections. Whether it's giving them a business card, pointing them to a social media page, there's so many ways where you can utilize this to build a following, make money on the side, maybe even just make some friends, but not somehow networking from this is a mistake. If you've been driving for multiple years and you haven't done this, like, you've really lost out on a lot of money by not somehow leveraging all those connections you could have used for something. You're an independent contractor. You don't owe Uber and Lyft anything. They barely do anything for you. So if you're using it to make money on the side for a different gig, as long as it's not a conflict of interest like your own driving company, you're gonna be fine. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. Number 11 is avoiding maintenance till the last second. I would do the exact opposite of this. Get your oil changes early. If you think your brakes are going out, get them looked at right away. I think too many drivers just skate by at the last second with getting repairs on their car. This to me is a dangerous, dangerous game to play. Next up on our list, number 12 is not taking breaks. Again, kind of going back to the mental health. Just taking 5 minutes from time to time to just stretch your legs and walk is not only going to be good for your legs, but it's going to be good for your mind. The sharper you stay, the better you're going to be as a driver, the more tips you're going to make. Number 13 is picking up too many passengers. I know every driver has run into this. It's always a young group of college girls that claim there was no XLs available or some other BS excuse. So they want to fit like 6 or 7 of them in your back seat and then 2 in the front or whatever they're trying to do. For one, it's very illegal, but for 2, these aren't even good rides. The reality is they didn't want to pay for the Uber XL. Do you think clientele like that is going to tip you? Probably not. And they're probably not even going that far away. Never worth it. Outside of the legality issue, it's just not even worth your time. Number 14, kind of on that note, is giving Collegetown rides. I've rarely seen this work unless it's a bigger football or sports school and there's a big game where you can get some crazy surges. But in most cases, Collegetowns, you're giving a lot of cheap rides to a lot of people that don't tip. And honestly, I feel like this generation is so socially dead, it's like hard to even have a conversation with them. Not to stereotype all of you Gen Zers, but I mean, come on, you guys sit on your phone all day and really don't talk to people. So yeah, like it's boring rides. They usually don't tip. They're usually not going far. To me, the Collegetown rides have never been worth my time. Number 15 is chasing surges. This is a dicey one because it can depend on the surge, but for the most part, if you're a decent little distance away, it's not worth driving towards that surge, especially on a weekend, because you can potentially miss out on really good rides by going offline to try and get to that surge. So my rule of thumb was usually if I was 10 minutes away and it's not that big of one, I'm not going to go after it. Now, if it's a pretty big surge, I'll risk 10 to 15 minutes. But even anything more than that, I get a little apprehensive about going after it and then canceling rides on the way or turning the app off. Number 16 is having no amenities. You can basically write off anything that you would provide to a customer that they could use. Food, drinks. I always did cologne, breath mints, Tylenol, aspirin. Having all that stuff is just very handy. And even things for you that help you drive better. Caffeine, food, there's a lot of little loopholes you can do. I am by no means a tax professional though, so anything specifically, please look into on your own. It wasn't the Rideshare Hub guy that told you to buy a certain product or thing that you could write off. Now, I doubt the IRS is going after any Uber drivers anyways. We don't make enough to be on the radar, but you get what I'm saying. Number 17 is weird music and weird podcasts. I get that you probably think you have the sickest taste in music. Odds are a lot of passengers won't agree. I always try to go with music, with playlists that I think can fit all crowds. That can be very tough to predict sometimes. The safe answer is always ask people if there's anything specific that they want to listen to. But the problem is, I feel like most time people go, oh, I'm pretty much cool with anything. I wouldn't take too much permission with anything. I wouldn't play anything that's really crude or just a ton of cussing in it. I wouldn't play anything that's really out there unless it's a really chill vibe. And I wouldn't stick with just one specific period of time. If you're really into Conway Twitty, odds are most people won't even know who he is. Might not be a good idea to have that playlist on. Unless you see someone who's 80 about to get in your car, then you play that Conway Twitty and you'll see the want to in their eyes. Number 18 is being lazy about gas, utilizing third-party apps, and really all your rewards at all times for gas is vital. It's gonna save you a lot of money. Your pro rewards, Gas Buddy, Get Upside, maybe a local grocery store membership, anything you can to try and save as much on gas at all times. I highly, highly recommend that. Number 19 is just not treating this like a business. You should look at this like a business. This shouldn't be just show up, do your shift, and you're done. You should look at it as a business owner from so many aspects. Expense tracking. Everything you buy should be a write-off, like we said. And really just being very careful about what you spend inside your business and how much you make. What hours you should be open for your business. You should really think of it this way. I think for too long I was so lazy with it and I just kind of whimsically drove and hoped I would make the money I needed. If you're really relying on this income, you need to treat it very, very importantly and not just think I'm gonna turn the app on and I'll make the money. That's usually not the case. You need to be careful with that type of thinking. Next on our list is Fetch Rewards. This is essentially a receipt scanner to get cashback rewards. I did this for a long time and still use it for other purchases as well. You can pretty much scan any receipt and you're gonna get some cash back on it as you slowly build up those points. So obviously, if you're doing DoorDash or Instacart, this is killer because you're gonna be getting a lot of receipts each day. Being able to scan each one is gonna make you a lot of extra money. So that's what I got for you guys, the 20 mistakes that most drivers make. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out Solo in the description below. Get that extra 10 bucks just for signing up, and I will talk to you guys soon.